Hello. Oh, sorry. I'm still messing with this actually. Okay, let's see. Is that good? Coming to you live. Welcome to Sext. Thursday, October the 7th, 2021. This is Sext. This is our weekly moment of centering, weekly or daily, probably better, daily reset today. And I am waiting to see if anyone joins me. I think I'm on the church page. I always have this fear that I'm not. But if you're here, please say hello. And I will wait a few seconds to see if anyone signs on. If no one signs on, that's fine. I have faith that at least 1 to 2 people will watch this back later. So if you are watching this back later, just feel free to skip ahead to the actual conversation, because I realize this is a little slow, but someone's watching. Say hello, reveal yourself. Okay, so just a quick check-in. We call Sext our kind of like pastoral check-in, centering moment. And again, Sext is Latin for sixth. This is the 6th hour of the divine office, and that concept of praying the hours, that ancient practice of praesis, praying the hours throughout your day, which is such a beautiful concept. And I would love to really quickly just plug like my favorite book in the world on praying the hours. I'm sure it should be just the Book of Common Prayer, but it is actually the 7 Sacred Pauses by, I think her name's Macrina Whitaker. But look up the 7 Sacred Pauses for a very thoughtful contemporary commentary on praying the hours in your everyday life without having to shift the realities of your life. You can incorporate the rhythm into what you already have going on. And so that's sort of the same mindset we have with Sext is, hey, let's check in real quick. Let's take a few breaths and let's, reset and remind ourselves to posture ourselves in the way of prayer, which is just simply an attentiveness and a mindfulness to the divine connection that's already there within us and around us. So I just have a really, just a quick little word today. It was just a thought that sort of has popped into my brain a lot, but it popped into my brain today specifically for this chat in the phrase of embodying offering. What do I mean by that? Well, I have come to look at the way that I, let's frame it with social media. Like if I'm going to make a post, I try to look at it as an offering. And that really helps me in what I decide to share. Is it, let me start over. Here, I actually made some notes, so it's about to get a little bit more clear. But here's what I mean by embodying offering. There are several ways that we can look at our lives as an offering, and there are several reasons why that is helpful. So for me, the primary reason that I've come to think about this is because it has helped me sift through some of my ego tendencies. And I'm someone who I love my ego because I recognize how she has helped me in my life, how she's wanted to protect me, wanted to be there for me, wanted to cheer me on. And so I'm not someone who just like wants to reject the ego. I just simply want to I want the ego to know that she's not in charge, right? She's not going to run my life. She can be a part of my life. She can help me. She can inform me. She can assist me, but she is not in charge of my life. And so whenever I am looking at my life as an offering, it helps me sift out those ego tendencies that are unhelpful. If I'm going to make a choice, make a social media post, write something, interact in a certain way, when I shift and look at those opportunities as offerings, then I am less likely to be letting my ego take the reins on how those things play out. Does that make sense? And then another way that I think that embodying offering is helpful to us is that it actually gives us autonomy over our lives. So I think that a lie a lot of us grew up with, who grew up in church, is, for example, looking at offering in a form of a monetary tithe. So a lot of people still believe this, that you are biblically required to give 10% of your paycheck to your church or whatever. But for me, that concept of tithing has expanded so much. So I still consider myself a generous person. Hopefully, I believe that I'm giving more than what I should be giving when it comes financially, and also to my community. But nobody can make me give. Like, if somebody tells me you have to give, I'm not going to listen to them. Like, it's my decision if I'm going to give an offering. If I'm going to write a check, it's my decision. And so the same way with living your life as an offering. This doesn't mean that you're draining yourself dry. It doesn't mean that you're causing yourself suffering or neglecting yourself. It just literally puts the ball back into your court, and you get to decide what kind of offering you're putting out into the world from day to day, in the little things or the big things. So embodying offering actually gives us autonomy. It does not take it away. Embodying offering prioritizes generosity, because I feel like we move from our like ego mindsets of scarcity, like that there's not enough for this, or I might miss out on that. Like, when we're looking at our life as an offering, and our work as an offering, and our choices as an offering, it just puts us in this posture of generosity where we want to give, we want to contribute, and we want to be a part of the collective work in the world. And so embodying offering, just as a reminder, prioritizes generosity. And then the other thing that I love about it is that it makes way for authenticity. Whenever you look at the work that you're doing, or just anything you're putting out into the world as an offering, you want it to be genuine to who you are. You want it to be real. You want it to be authentic. So when we embody offering, we are also embodying authenticity. Hi, Tori. I love you too. And then practically embodying offering, here's how it helps us practically. It helps us in our decision making, if I haven't made that very clear. So when we're making choices, from little choices to big choices, embodying offering as our posture helps us to go, okay, is this ego or is this spirit informed? It helps us to ask, is this what I want or perceive is needed right now? It helps us to ask, is this helpful? Like, think about social media. Is this post helpful? When we're embodying offering, we want it to be helpful. So things that are not going to help, we don't need to share them. We don't need to offer those things to the world. And then, of course, is this genuine? And then finally, I just want to say, embodying offering helps us practice mindfulness in our ordinary lives. So going back to praying the hours in this moment of Sext, we don't have to become someone else. We don't have to change our realities. We can literally just bring prayer and divine connection into what's already happening. And when we embody offering, I think we just get into this posture where we're more mindful of what's around us, what's going on, the energy that we have, whatever we're feeling inside our hearts and minds. Like, all of that comes up to the surface and informs our lives. And so then it just becomes our natural posture and our natural spiritual practice to embody offering. And so whether it's in our work or whether it's in our, like I've said, social media posts, whether it's in our volunteering or our interactions and relationships or in our stillness, think about how you can embody offering today in this week. Think about how you can say to yourself, is this an offering that I want to give? Maybe it's not. Maybe you don't have the energy for it after all. Or maybe you realize it's sort of ego-driven and you don't want to do that. So think about that today. I hope this makes sense, and I want to leave you with an offering. This offering is a poem, and actually, if my sister's still watching, she'll recognize it because my dad shared it with us, I think last week, and it's by Mary Oliver. Of course, a lot of us know Mary Oliver. We love Mary Oliver. If you don't know Mary Oliver, go look her up. But I was so excited because I hadn't ever heard this poem or read this poem, and of course, all poetry is best read aloud. So I want to leave you with a reading of this very short poem as we go and continue to embody offering in our lives and in our contexts. So this is called Today, perfect for the present moment. Today I'm flying low and I'm not saying a word. I'm letting all the voodoos of ambition sleep. The world goes on as it must, the bees in the garden rumbling a little, the fish leaping, the gnats getting eaten, and so forth. But I'm taking the day off. Quiet as a feather. I hardly move, though really I'm traveling a terrific distance. Stillness. One of the doors into the temple. I love you guys. I hope you can make a space in this noon hour for some breaths, for some stillness, and for some reflecting on how we can embody offering in our lives. I'll see y'all Sunday at 10 a.m. Talk to you later.